Hello and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka, and you have now entered the galaxy that is far, far away. And this is the Mandalorian world. As we wrap up season 3, the finale was yesterday, or
Today,
actually earlier this morning. Um, we will find out if this is the way and which way they're going with this.
this is the way. Apologies for the back to back Star Wars, but hey, I mean, when something as big as the Mandalorian is upon us, we got to give it its due. So that being said, all
How
right,
big of how much of a spoilers are we going to get into, sir?
you know what, I would say no spoil, minor spoilers maybe, nothing.
Minus spoilers. Here's the thing. I might mention a couple things that was omitted. How about that?
All right, I mean because it came out today, and I don't want to completely, but I mean, first negative for me, and maybe only maybe of one, maybe one or two, possibly three negative things about this episode. One was 35 minutes long,
Very
which
short.
very short. All right. Second negative, quasi predictable, and third negative being, and I'm not sure if it's a negative or not, but it was kind of telling to me. For me, maybe I'm off base, but it played like a series finale to me.
Which it might be. Nobody has said.
Yes, I mean, and if it ends, I'm content. I'm okay with it. If it ends this way, I'm fine with it. I don't need any more. I don't need any more. And we know already that there's going to be a conclusion to the Mandalorian saga in the movie. I don't know, 5 years from now, whenever the heck they actually do film it and put it out there. So I'm okay with the saga of Din Djarin and Grogu ending the way it ended. Okay, so yeah, and on one other minor thing. Okay, um, okay, the guards. Well, what they will.
The Praetorian Guards.
Yes, aren't they like the baddest of the badasses?
They're supposed to be the elite royal guard to the emperor.
Exactly, and how they took up. Well, obviously, if you guys watching this, you saw episode 7, so you saw that they took up Paz Vizsla, who was pretty much a badass. Okay,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert. And well,
It was too easy.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna get into how it
And
happened.
he was largely disarmed.
Yes,
He didn't have all his Mandalorian fixing.
yes, he did have help, but yeah.
I agree. He's supposed to be Secret Service Navy Team 6, SEAL 6 Elite. That's what the Praetorian Guard is supposed to be. To be dispatched the way it was, you know who gave up a bigger fight? I'm sorry. We just really can't do this without too many minor spoilers.
Hey, and as a
But
matter of fact, hey, didn't the Praetorian Guard beat? I mean, like almost beat the crap out of freaking Kylo Ren and freaking when weren't they protecting Snoke?
Moff Gideon put up a bigger fight. In fact, okay, I know we're skirting around a lot of spoilers, but you knew they were going to fight, so this is not a spoiler. But the level at which he fought with the Beskar new dark soldier suit.
Yeah, but he was augmented because you can.
Oh, he was enhanced.
They really made a point of going. Oh, every time he swung or away, it
It's
like,
Darth Vader hydraulics.
yes,
But still, he was almost unbeatable.
It took a lot. That's what
I'm
I'm.
skirting. I'm skirting people, and I'm doing this for you. For you. I'm not telling you exactly what happened. All I'm saying, and this is not a spoiler, you know this. He's the biggest bad here. So you've mentioned 4 issues. My 5th issue is the biggest spoiler. It's
Yeah.
the biggest spoiler I'm gonna mention is that what was omitted is that we didn't get a new character.
Yes.
We didn't get a hint to a big bad, the next big bad.
Who
Like you
was
said,
mentioned?
this could be it.
He or they were mentioned in episode 7. So,
And that's all they were, a fleeting mention.
which then leads me to believe that yes, that maybe
This is it.
this is it. Or at least Dinjar
The saga of Dinjar.
Yes.
Actually,
As he saw the final shot, it seemed okay. This is it. You know what I mean?
warning everybody, I'm gonna get dropped a big spoiler.
Oh boy.
Not too bad, not too bad. But when I say this, you'll figure it out. It almost as though the title, the Mandalorian title, goes to the little guy.
Spoiler alert.
I told you, but you knew that was going to happen.
Din Grogu?
Exactly. And you knew that was going to happen. Now, okay, without
all right,
you're listening right now. The audience that's listening right now, you've been following. You're a Star Warsite, Star Wars loyalist. You follow the show. You follow the canon. You know what's going on. You know how this should end. So it's not really a surprise. You want to see it unfold, right? You want to see it perform. Okay. So, with that said, were you satisfied?
Me?
Or what is the level of your satisfaction?
No, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was better than episode 7 for me. Because you know how my opinion on the whole, you know, the Vasquez, the Vasquez trope, or whatever excuse or whatever the hell you want to call it.
The heroic
yes.
The heroic death.
Yes. So I think that's fucking cop out, part of my language. And it's been done and redone, but I don't want to get into that now.
So by and large,
that being said, this episode was very good. It checked all the boxes except for, obviously not introducing another character, which they had mentioned in episode 7. And if this is the end of that part of the Mandalorian, I am fine with it, because the story's done. I mean, they could, obviously continue, but that's the story which was set out from episode 1, when you saw what we thought was Baby Yoda, we ended up being Grogu, to the point now, it's done.
You wanted to tune in for the fight scene.
Yes.
And by and large, I have to say the fight scene was awesome.
All the fights, all the fights were all.
The fights were awesome, because you have the last remaining tribe of the Mandalorian, whatever you want to call it, they're pinned down. They had all the odds against them. And in typical heroic Star Wars fashion,
no spoilers.
Goodness, friendship, camaraderie, whatever you want to call it, they came to the show and they brought it. How about that? Without spoiling it too much. I'm not even saying the ending. All I'm saying is they brought it. For me, it was extremely satisfying from that level, about the fighting, and the resolution at the end was a little, like you said, too happy ever after. That almost lends to the fact that we are closing the book.
Yeah. Now look, there's a lot more story to tell as far as Mandalore and the Mandalorian, meaning as we saw the shift, at which now we're going to get into what we perceive to be the future of the Mandalorian and Star Wars in general. we've seen the shift already from the story centering on Din Djarin and Grogu into Bo-Katan and the plight of Mandalore and how all the Mandalorians are going to, you know, like live life and get back to their planet, so to speak, you know, and all the
And also the
things that we
the nuances of the New Republic
yes,
and how they're going to make their way, struggling, unifying, defending, and then you still have the old guard. You know, they're still around all the way up until present day, whatever you want to call the timeline here. So there are other series in the works.
yeah, yes,
So it's not like, and you're right, they, as opposed to Marvel, have done a fantastic job of connecting the Star Wars universe.
oh, I mean,
But
look,
that's by and large because they came together.
Favreau and Filoni have a plan, okay, to fill in the gaps as they see fit to really make a cohesive story, including their own created characters from the Clone Wars, Rebels, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is their baby. So obviously it's gonna make sense. Obviously it's all gonna be interconnected and it's gonna be good stuff, you know.
And I think that's why they did mention Admiral Thrawn, that they mentioned was not mentioned in the last season. You saw Ahsoka Tano, and you saw other offshoots of the fragmented Jedi world and where things are going. They mentioned here in large part, no spoiler, in large part about the cloning, which ties in later with Rey and everything else and the Emperor and the whole deal. So their universe, I think, is solid, and they haven't diluted themselves to like other people, and haven't had disrupted, isolated timeline events where you disconnect the fan base.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is what Marvel has done, and they're losing people and stuff.
All right.
So
Well,
either way,
that's
not to compare.
Stay on course. Stay on course, please.
Yes, not to compare. So, what would you give a final grade?
For this episode, I gave it probably a 9. It was all that in a bag of chips. Now for the whole season in general, I have to go back and see what I gave the first couple episodes, but I think it was 7.5 or something. I probably bump it up to, it's like a 7.980. It's perfectly fine. Had a couple hiccups in the middle, especially in particular, and I didn't hate those episodes like everyone else did, especially with the Lizzo and the Jack Black episode. I thought it was a little.
That was all right.
A little pandering to the freaking to the masses, but it was fine. It was nothing.
No, I had more issue with the whole episode with the cloning doctor.
Yeah, but the person and then that whole thing.
That was a little dry
because it
was unnecessarily long.
Because we go back to what we were talking about with Favreau and Filoni, what they're trying to do. They're trying to tell this grand story and fill up all the gaps. And as I mentioned in our previous episode, we don't need that.
We don't. You just need to be entertained.
You don't need to know every single. I don't know when Din Djarin went to go take a crap. I'm sorry, it's not necessary. I don't need it. Awkward. Thank you, but I don't need it.
Yeah, you could easily step outside, use the comfort room or something like that. But
exactly. And it's like they want to make every single detail. Here you go. Oh, here's what happened. Oh,
if the Mandalorian has to wear the helmet all the time, what happens when he sneezes? See, stuff like that.
Well, look,
if two Mandalorians get together, and then
this question: do you think it was it was Giancarlo in the suit fighting? Well, not fighting, but even
no, and let's be realistic, people. And I don't want to. This is no diss on my.
I know it
man
wasn't Pedro
Pedro.
Pascal freaking fighting either. I mean,
No,
obviously.
this is not on my man Pedro, man. This is not on him. But whether he's wearing the suit or not wearing the suit, 90% of Hollywood actors are gonna have the stunt double come and do this. So if you're not even showing your face, why do you have to? There's a lot of good scenes in there, a lot of rough scenes. Whether he's there or not, does it take away from your viewing pleasure?
No, wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. Actually, I'd rather have a qualified person do it. It's even more believable. They could take a fall. They could do a punch.
The fact that you know that Ken Reeves is the one doing all that stuff, or at least the majority of all that stuff, it is Ken Reeves at 58 years old. Doesn't it give you a little, or when you see freaking Tom Cruise hanging off a fucking plane in Mission Impossible or on the side of a building in Dubai, and you know it's him because they make a whole big thing about it. Does it enhance your experience or does it?
Well, it enhances it for one reason. You see his freaking face.
Touche. Anyway,
all right.
I
agree with you. It's close to a 9, maybe an 8.8. Because I have to shave off from the 9 because it was a little too short for a season ending. And I take away points because I lost that wow factor of they did themselves a disservice because the way season 2 ended. That was nearly a 10. That was ridiculous.
You can, but you can. But you can't.
You have to compare. You're not compared to another show. You compare it to the same show.
You can't eclipse that. I mean, you know, my man came on.
Exactly, but exactly my whole point. So you can't possibly give it a great score when you have your own ending in season 2. That I mean, I'm still get chills a little bit when he got walking in.
See, but that's also the whole thing that kind of and let's see, you're introducing things that now.
Oh, Izzy's head's gonna explode. Here it comes.
No,
everybody, get your face shields on. It's gonna pop.
This is the problem with a connected universe or continuity, because if something is happening in one place and a certain character or characters were involved in helping certain characters and into doing something, and those characters are in deep doo-doo, wouldn't the other character come and help if they knew what was going on?
But the Star Wars universe has always been.
I get it. It's galaxies far, far away. It's an outer.
But it's always been built on deep tragedy and then somehow coming together. It has a almost magical fairy tale endings to their storyline.
Yeah, but now you're see, and this is like I said, and this spits right in the eye to Favreau and what you're trying to freaking do. You know, because now you're putting yourself. You got to forget that. No, Luke didn't know that they're gonna go and destroy this. That they got to get Moff Gideon and his ex pupil, whatever, Padawan, you know, is in deep trouble. And maybe knowing him, he might be like, you know what, we can't interfere with the Force and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool.
That was a sinister plot. He already alluded to it, so no spoilers here, people. But it was a sinister plot of what he was trying to create, which was that was a really good, sobering appearance of his experiments coming close to fruition.
Let's stop before Rockets.
All right, listen, if it is over, Mandalorian was an exciting, great watch. It did great things for the Star Wars universe.
Let's get into that real quick. What do you think is next?
Well,
obviously spoilers. I mean, you know, what do you think?
Admiral Thrawn is a big deal. He was supposed to be like the last hope of the dying empire. They got this strategic military mind who is ruthless, sinister, and other than any of the Sith Lords, he's the next biggest bad foe you can come up with. And to have him enter and materialize into the frame of real action, live action, and have him do his deal to try to bring back the Empire and take down the Republic and everything bad in between. Not to mention, not every Jedi died. Order 66 wasn't 100% success rate, right? I mean, Luke is testament to just that. But there's others, and the Force doesn't completely die off. You cannot, the good side, you cannot completely smother it and it's gone. Obviously. So there's backstories which probably are the underlying backbone of the entire 12 movies that are 9, whatever it was, that are there. So I think that's what they're going to do, is explore those other backstories. Ahsoka Tano, Admiral, the Rebels, the cloning thing's not going to stop. Obviously, the cloning technology's there. You know what? The episode prior to this was very telling because that whole General Council, the Shadow Council, whatever you want to call it, they dropped a lot of seeds in there. There's a lot of Easter eggs in there about where they can go in different directions. With the cloning, with different factions, you see how many of them are still out there? And they're organized. It's not like they're doing guerrilla warfare spots. They have a plan.
Yeah.
And that has laid the seeds of where they're going next.
No, I have to agree with most of what you said because we know that there is a end game to the whole Mandalorian saga, which is the movie. We know that already. And whatever shows may come into them, like you mentioned, Ahsoka, and whatever else maybe I don't know about the CGI shows because I have not watched them. I apologize. So but all that is an end game, and we all know that Thrawn is going to be the big bad coming up. But as I mentioned before, to me, this felt like a finale, at least for that storyline. But Bo-Katan, obviously, and when they find out that after after what happened in this episode, shit's gonna hit the fan.
But you saw what they did with the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
Right, Mando showed up, made a spot thing. Bo-Katan maybe one here and there. So they're going to reintroduce a character here and there to keep you relevant and to interconnect the web that is their growing universe. So I think that's going to happen, but they're definitely going that direction. They've already put it out there. That was their cameos. Instead of an end credit scene, they put it in the damn episode.
Yeah.
Which was smart because you may not catch everybody on an end credit scene. Here, it's in your head already. This guy was mentioned. They're going this way. This was the cloning project. There's a few other people hanging out from the old Empire. We all know, like you said, Rey, the Emperor's still alive. And you saw the Council of Sith in that end scene. That was, I don't know, 1 trillion of them. There's a lot of bad guys out there. They too are organized and are doing things on the side. I mean, you almost have endless possibilities. Lando Calrissian's backstory. There's a whole animated thing. There's a whole animated series with the Yoda, and then I don't know. Is Vader dead? Because Vader from the last Luke Skywalker series, Vader's just got started going with completely immersing into the dark side. Remember, he goes into a planet and kills a whole
Vader's dead, man.
Wookiees. Huh?
Vader's dead, man.
No, but his backstory, he killed a whole bunch of Wookiees, like a whole planet of them. And there's a lot of things. Rebels. I mean,
Wookiee down. All right, no, we're going a little crazy now. But
all right, I'm hooked. If another series does come up, I'm definitely going to tune in to watch it, see where things go.
We know that there's been, depending the sources, some say that there's another season, and then maybe another 2 seasons. My guess, probably 1 more season. Then it's going to all conclude within this movie to come, and yeah. we'll go from there. But definitely, if you're a Star Wars head, and if you're not, if you like all this stuff, you check out the Ahsoka series because I'm pretty sure there's going to be, something's going to be going on.
That's a big series because there's a lot
We
tied with
have
her.
a Book of Boba season 3 or season 2.
Of what?
Book of Boba.
It'll be two, I think.
Yeah, so we see also we have a Book of Boba 2. I mean,
The unfortunate thing is the last one they did, the series prior to this, just got no love.
Andor, what it's
It dry, shriveled up, and no one gave a shit.
but there's another season, another big season of that coming up. So,
Well, Star Wars universe got money to burn, apparently.
well, all right. As usual, please like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think. Or if we're for the shit, let us know, please. That being said, this is the way. I'm Izzy.
This is the way. I'm Rock. Remember to save the whales, no matter what planet and galaxy you find yourself in.
Take care.